Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
We're definitely over a month late with this, but it's never too late to catch up. What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 in the midst of all the chaos of the holiday season, and with me doing my project, my 25 days of Christmas, 25 days of promos for my wrestling videos, which is against all my main content on the channel. There's always some time I gotta squeeze in to talk about Major League Baseball and plenty of baseball news. We're in the midst, of course, of the winter meetings, which I believe those are about to finish passing. Some big trades and big signings. Well, not too many, but two major ones that I will leave for individual videos and much more to go from there. But first, and most importantly, to start with catching things up, we have some individual topics to talk about as well. And the first one, of course, is congratulations to the 2023 World Series champions, the Texas Rangers, winning their first World Series in franchise history with a 5-0 win over the Arizona Diamondbacks on November 1st, 2023 to take the series 4-1. They had split the first 2 games at home with the Diamondbacks before going off to Chase Field in Arizona, where they swept the series there, and they won the World Series for the first time in their careers. It was definitely a very interesting series as well, seeing 2 wildcard teams and 2 teams that 2 years earlier were down at the bottom of their divisions with, I think, a 68-94 record for the Rangers and like a 51-111 or a 50 wins, somewhere in the 50 wins for the Diamondbacks. I thought they were way, way far off from ever getting to playoff contention for a while. Changed my mind. But a lot of credit to the Arizona Diamondbacks first off. Especially with their spark plug, their new seemingly franchise star, Corbin Carroll, the National League Rookie of the Year for 2023, was definitely a big part of this team getting there with all their pitching and some other, hitting as well. So props to the Diamondbacks for sure, for being like the underdog team of the playoffs. Getting close, winning the pennant, but unfortunately just came up just a wee bit short. They, of course, though, outdid last year's National League pennant winner, the Philadelphia Phillies, who still look to be dangerous for quite a while. So definitely props to the Diamondbacks and all the credit there. Again, Corbin Carroll's going to be a great piece for them for a while. They want to sign him long term, which I would if I were them. But of course, this video, got to talk about the Texas Rangers. Very happy for the Rangers. Again, their first World Series in franchise history. This is a franchise that was established in 1961 as the Washington Senators before they moved to Arlington in 1972. Before this, the Texas Rangers only been to the World Series in 2010 and 2011. However, back-to-back seasons, they did not win the World Series. 2010, they dropped to the Giants, which I believe were they swept, or was the 4-1 series, 1-2. And 2011, we all know that classic series that went the Cardinals, literally just 1 out away. I still remember that heartbreaking moment where Nelson Cruz reached for that catch against David Freese, who was the hottest hitter in the league at the time, and the World Series and National Championship Series MVP, of course, that year as well. That was a great series as well. But ever since then, they really hadn't come too close to the World Series. And, now listen to this fun fact. Of course, the Cleveland Guardians, have the longest drought since they last won the World Series, which was 75 years ago, back in 1948. The Texas Rangers had before winning this World Series, had the second longest drought out of the teams that have not yet won the World Series, with, of course, 55 years of not winning the World Series. Well, I guess, did they win with the Senators? I can't remember, but that doesn't quite make sense. That's what it says here. Of course, the one who has the longest drought of a team that haven't won the World Series yet is the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm sorry. The Brewers have the longest drought without winning the World Series at 55 years for a team that has not won the World Series. The Rangers had the second longest drought. And then, okay, that's got that. Sorry about that. But anyways, with the Rangers now joining the club of people who won the World Series. Well, not people, teams. The 5 teams now remaining in Major League Baseball that have not yet won a World Series in their franchise history is the Brewers, the Padres, Mariners, Rockies, and and Rays. I think the Mariners have not been to the actual World Series. They got to the Championship Series. The Brewers? They may have, I'm not sure. Padres and over sure have against the Yankees. Rockies against the Red Sox, and the Rays against the Phillies and the Dodgers. But then came up short. Speaking of Dodgers, of course, Corey Seager was the World Series MVP. He was, of course, in the running for American League MVP, but fell short to Shohei Ohtani. Of course, you had no denial about that, but I definitely agree. Corey Seager had a MVP caliber season, despite the fact he did miss about 40 games due to some injuries. But this Rangers team. So for a while, I know the Rangers were a team that apparently only did like short-term like contracts, like 3 to 5 years or whatnot. But of course, they had signed the past 2 seasons, spiced up their middle of the infield, signing both Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, who was also the third finalist for American League MVP this year. They also grabbed Jacob deGrom, who unfortunately is out probably until either the end of next year or until 2025 with Tommy John surgery. And they also grabbed Nathan Eovaldi as well to really bolster up their pitching staff. They also at the trade deadline got Jordan Montgomery, who they're looking into talks with extensions with, and Max Scherzer as well, which of course, cool fun fact, we all know that Max Scherzer began his career with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and now he gets to win the World Series back in the field where it all started, for him at Chase Field, which I think is awesome to see for sure. Of course, Scherzer, though, did almost not make it to the playoffs with injuries. He did get injured during the World Series as well. But it still paid off as everybody else still contributed as well. Seager overall hit .318 in the World Series, and then also the second time he won the World Series MVP. The first time was in 2020 with the Dodgers, as he of course well deserves. Of course, also the people who definitely contributed for sure was the rookie Evan Carter, who got called up right before September, and of course also Adolis Garcia still was probably the biggest hero in the playoffs for the Rangers, especially in that American League Championship Series when they battled the state rival Houston Astros. They were basically down and out, but Adolis Garcia just stayed hot and turned it around. He's definitely one of the more underrated players in the game today, for sure. And also got some great pitching orders as well from Josh Shores and closer Jose Leclerc as well. Get some honors in there as well. Let's see what we got there as well. Got some numbers there. But of course, the person you got to, put a lot of credit to, again, is their manager. They just signed for this season, Bruce Bochy. Came out of retirement, 3-time World Series champion with the Giants. Already had the Hall of Fame resume. Did not need to do this. But of course, they thought it was time. They brought him in. He felt it was the right team to work with. Look what he did. I'm definitely very happy to see the Texas Rangers be a team to end their drought. Again, they're definitely a team that I knew came so close so many times. And again, as a guy who feels like an underdog, like the team like the Rangers who had not gone before came so close. But then, of course, here they are. They finally got it. Texas Rangers are your 2023 World Series champions. And position they're in right now, they're not really losing anybody too big this offseason as of now. Could possibly contend again next year. We'll see. Of course, they didn't win a division this year. They went 90-72 and won the wild card. I do remember, though, a couple months ago, I did say I thought they were kind of in trouble. But after that happened, their momentum shifted. And the Mariners, I think, were the ones that fell out that kind of fell off a little bit towards the end. And the Rangers just slipped past them to get a wild card spot. So let's see if they can grab the division again. We'll see. Because the Houston Astros, of course, are probably going to start falling off a bit because some of their longtime players like Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve, and even Kyle Tucker as well, few of them are getting close to the end of their contracts. So we'll have to wait and see. But still a great moment. Congratulations again to the Texas Rangers, the 2023 World Series champions.